Welcome. If you're new to my channel, what I like to do here is make videos explaining things that I wish I would have known before I started buying precious metals, antique objects, jewelry, types of things. Just all the little tips and the things that I've picked up and I've been taught along the way. And I also am trying to do more follow-up videos because when I'm doing my videos, oftentimes what will happen is I will find things like these, and I'll make a little pip, I think right there, to directly to the video where I actually found this stuff. But I won't necessarily know exactly what I have in that video. So what I'm doing in this video is I have a follow-up. And what's in here is the contents of what I was able to go through and check with a X-ray machine down at the local pawn shop to figure out what some things are. So this is a follow-up to a series of other videos, and you might recognize some of these pieces. If you haven't, I'll try to link all the videos these things come from, so you can actually see where I actually found them in the first place. Now all of this stuff was marked sterling, so we're going to set these things aside for the moment, and we're going to pull out the other pieces that there was questions about, and talk about those, and then we'll talk about some other stuff that is from prior videos that's also in here. So let's grab that out first, and we'll grab out some of this other stuff in a minute. Okay, so from that video, we had a question on a few of these pieces. Now these guys, whatever they happen to be, are in fact copper. Like a teeny tiny bit of silver plate, but like virtually nothing. These guys are just copper. These two ended up being more interesting. This piece ended up being sterling. So this came out properly sterling. And I'll show the whatever is going on here again, because I have not sat down and tried to decipher what I'm looking at here. And I wasn't probably going to go digging for it unless it did turn out to be sterling. But whatever this cute little salt label, sugar ladle, maybe, I think this might be a sugar ladle, it is in fact sterling. So we'll have to find a little bit more about what that mark means at some point in the future. I'm looking forward to it. I'll clean it up real good, and I don't know, maybe make a rubbing. I'll figure out something. Now that piece was interesting. This piece ended up being really interesting, because I thought it might be plate, and the marking here is not something I was able to find online. Randall Hall and Company. And it wasn't sterling, but it also wasn't plate, and it also was, I think, 80-something% silver. Now, I actually took a picture, which I'm going to include in this video, of what the XRF machine said is in this particular spoon. So that's kind of wild, and I am not entirely sure what to make of it. Maybe some of you folks can opine. Maybe when I can find some more time to Google a little bit more, we'll find something here. When I looked for a Randall Hall, I kept coming up with Walker and Hall, which is a big maker, but Randall doesn't seem to figure into that. It was a different Hall, so I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me. I'm not surprised that it actually did turn out to be some form of solid silver, because it is fairly light. But yeah, so we'll set those two aside. Those were interesting things. Now, speaking of interesting, this guy is just a weird thing. It's not gold, but it does have an unusual amount of silver in it. which I will actually show you. And there we go. Why? I don't know. This is definitely weird. And I'll also definitely say this is that it was setting off some like weird radar pings for me, because it isn't just like a piece of brass. And as it turns out, it isn't just a piece of brass. It's a very, very, very strange piece of silver, kind of. So if anyone can tell me why, I would love to know. But that machine definitely is good for solving one mystery and kind of enhancing it at the same time. And that's definitely what's going on with this piece. All right, so we'll go through some of these other ones a little more quickly. We'll dump this out here. A lot of the stuff was it was pretty straightforward, actually, and useful for us to actually learn off of. So this piece here, see those little seed pearls. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to do something here in this video. If you're ever wondering if you've got real pearls, let's turn off some lights. Hopefully it will stay. Oh, come on. There we go. They glow like crazy. See? In the black light. If you have a black light, you want to know if something's a real pearl, or has a real pearl on it, they will glow quite bright for you. All right. Just a little thing I wanted to add before I forgot it. Let's turn on my other light here. There we go. But yeah, so this one ended up being 10 karat. Just give you an idea how this looks to see what that what like 10 karat when it's old and abused and has been around for a while can look like. But you can also see where those seed pearls are actually each set in with the gold as opposed to glued in, which is a good way to tell that it's at least a higher quality piece. Now that does happen with gold fill too, but in this case it actually did turn out to be 10 karat. And a little companion piece for that was this one right here. Come on, you. I can pick you up. I swear I can. There we go. And we're looking at really kind of the same sort of build quality. Same kind of shine on the back. But no marking, yet it is 10 karat. So those are a real favorite of mine. Let's see, this guy. There's a question about what's going on with this. ASC, HP, I don't know. There's no markings on the back, but it's got a nice shine to it. And this one is indeed 14 karat gold. So both the pin and the guard pin are 14 karat, and it comes up 14 karat on the face and on the back. There's some question about this one, and it did come up as 10 karat. So it's nice and shiny on the front, but it was not polished at all on the back. But it does come up as good for 10 karat, which is interesting. So this one was, as it turns out, sterling. So I'm guessing a little gold plating on top of the sterling there. But yeah, it was good for being sterling silver. Our little buddy here, little elk friend, 10 karat. All right, here's an interesting one. I wanted to do this one very, very specifically because this one says 10 karat top, and it is 10 karat top. So if you put this face down on the machine, you get 10 karat. Now you look at the back, and the back is also karat gold, but it's a lower, it ended up being lower karat. It ended up being like 8 to 9 karat. It would kind of oscillate between those two. So what does that mean? I'm not sure, but I'm seeing that with some of these, 10 karat top pieces where it's like what they're saying is they're and I'll talk about this too in another video at some point, but there's some pieces that'll say they're like 10 kp, which you'd think would mean plate, but actually means plum. It means that it's close to 10 karat. And with a piece like this, what they seem to be saying with this 10 karat top is that we are saying that when we built this, that the top is absolutely going to be 10 karat. But we're not going to tell you what necessarily the back was made out of, and that could have been made out of something that was a little lower. And that's what happened here, is that they sandwiched a piece of 10 karat gold onto a piece of lower karat, like 9 or 8 karat gold. But it's still gold, which is interesting. Now, the only way to probably figure out how much gold is actually in this would be to melt it down. And that's definitely not going to happen. But I did want to talk about that. Okay. So this guy, 10 karat. This guy, low karat. Now there's no markings here, but this one came up on the machine at about 8 karat. I'll show you the back here if I can unscrew it all the way. Came up about 8 karat, which is kind of interesting. Now, generally the gold fill won't come up as low karat. It will usually come up on the machine in kind of a weird way. It'll oscillate. It'll say it's plate, but it will also like be saying it's like 10 karat. So when things are like a little lower karat, you can look at like the edge and the back and put it on the edge and the back, and it'll give you the readout on that. And it'll be a little more accurate that way. Those machines are definitely not foolproof. So it's interesting though that I think there's probably a fair bit of this mason jewelry that was made out of just lower karat gold, and the reason it's not marked is because it's not legal, or at least in America, it's not legal to say something. I think the threshold is like 9 karat. If it's under 9 karat gold, you can't call it gold. You can't sell it as gold. But when these things are being custom made, it doesn't really matter. What matters is it a good object? Is it going to do what we want it to do? Act as a pin and more or less stay intact and shiny. And a lower karat gold maybe would accomplish that for less cost. And I think that's basically what you've got going on. Speaking of low karat gold, that's what this is. And I believe I have a video showing on the machine this one getting tested.
Hello.
Or not. Maybe I didn't. Or maybe you just watched it. We'll see. Okay. But yeah, so that was, as you saw, low karat. Same thing here. And then this one was a very good lesson, I think. The top piece is low karat gold. That piece is. This piece doesn't have gold in it. So just because part of it might be gold doesn't mean the whole thing's going to be gold. And that's a real good lesson, I think. So I'm going to include those videos here. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I don't really have the ability to completely monopolize their machines. So there's some pieces that I would like to test, but honestly, I didn't. I'm already taking a little too much of their time up. So I tried to do the most interesting pieces that we definitely wanted to know something about. There might be other pieces, and I apologize if there was something you wanted to know about. If you can point out the specific piece, I can try to do it the next time I get down there. But I hope you found this information interesting. That machine is phenomenally cool, and I wish I could afford the $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 one of those things cost, but I cannot. Which, you know, that's life. But the fact that they'll let me use it is awesome. I hope you enjoyed the little videos. They were kind enough to let me actually film while there. So you can sort of see how it works, at least to a certain degree. Basically, you just put it into that machine, close the lid because it's, you know, X-raying it, and then press the button and it goes through and it checks it out. You get that little readout. So that's what you have. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, subscribe, leave comments about anything you saw here that you're interested in or interested in learning more about. We can always make more videos on all of this stuff. I'm very open and interested in trying to create content that people want. I have kind of a lot of different ideas, and I'm going to try to get through all of them. But if you have any directions you'd like me to go in the meantime, please let me know.